Let's go, guys. Welcome back. Let's go. New week, fam. CPI. LTA, baby. Right. Okay. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another trading week. 4 streams of pleasure, entertainment, in a roller coaster environment. Ups and downs, you and me, right on. Let's make it happen today. It's gonna be another crazy week once again. All right, we have major news coming along tomorrow specifically. Hope you're ready for it, because it might be bigger than the NFP. It might be actually become bigger than the NFP. All right, the CPI and the FOMC together at the same trading day. Woohoo! Take that in consideration, fam. All right. Hope you guys are aware of the fact that this is gonna be heavy. It's gonna be heavy. Okay. Hope you guys are doing well though. Gold, look at a little recovery here. I think we're gonna dive straight into gold here. There was an anti-model 1, however, it didn't open without a wick. Unfortunately, otherwise this would have been an easy long position. I had my trade set up already. I was like, you know what? If this thing is gonna go, and we set in a wick, I'm gonna go live right away. Boom. And I'm gonna make sure that we enter the trade right away as well. So I had everything set up already for you guys, making sure that we are aligned, that we practically directly could take a trade based on what we're currently are seeing right here. Let me quickly get in a nice tune here. 1 second. Let me see where it is. There we go. Yes. Okay. So yeah, anyways, I saw this 1 hour, right? I saw the reclaim of the previous daily value area high. And I saw a double wick confirmation. And I saw the third candle right here potentially getting broken. If we had set in a bottom wick here, it would have been an easy setup. An easy setup, right? It would have been a trade that looks like this. We had the wick right there. We had the straight setup right there. We would have been putting in, I'm putting in a manual wick right now, right? You get the point. But that would have been an easy trade, man. Easy trade. However, we opened without a bottom wick, unfortunately. So that's kind of annoying. That would have been nice. Why? Because, of course, the first thing we want to do is we want to target the highs, right? Because we always know that people, when we're taking out the lows internally and we're, looking at this zone, and people are willing to short from here. And that's exactly what happened, all right? Shorters took action right around this particular zone, right? They entered a potential short based upon this area of supply, you could say, right? And then their stop losses are, of course, above here. So when you start consolidating below this zone, usually it's bullish, because we're going to go for the liquidity that's built up above there. In this case, though, unfortunately, we didn't create that wick on the bottom. And, you never really know what happens here. You can tap into that body and you can flip bearish, right? And then potentially roll over. And that's what, it's kind of annoying, because then you come up and you come down and you flip it. And then, you're in a stuck position and price turns around and it comes down lower. Okay? So yeah, do take that in consideration. Otherwise, it would have been a clean entry model 1. Very clean entry model 1 on the 1 hour time frame. based upon that double wick confirmation followed by the third entry candle, which you can find on page 50 of your ebook. Okay, the next edition of the ebook will come later. We don't have an exact time yet, so don't ask me about it, but it's gonna come, where we're gonna integrate our other our new entry models. We just had our event with our community yesterday, where we discussed the entry models in particular. It was a really good event, by the way, man. A really good event. Really enjoyed it. We had around 300 people at the top here watching the event, talking about the new entry model 4. All right. Now, the good thing is, though, that we still want to integrate this on YouTube already, regardless if you guys are updated or not, if you are in the VIP or not. We're still going to use this on YouTube as well. And it's going to help us tremendously with the live trading, also on YouTube particularly. So therefore, very, very nice. So yeah, man. Great for everyone who came. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, it was an absolute fantastic event. So really, really nice. So anyways, yeah, very unfortunate we are not taking out the highs here. I think I was in a trade, by the way, on futures for gold as well earlier though. Let me see if that was the case. Was that the case though? Yeah. That was the case. Yeah, exactly. We were in a trade earlier with gold. All right, way before. Okay. And it was actually on the higher time frame, I think. I think it was on the 4 hour. Yeah, it was on the 4 hour. All right. We entered on the 4 hour here. Okay, that's interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Anyways, yeah, man. What we're going to do is we're going to wait for that initial reaction here. Entry model 4 might be a given today, and the reason why this is going to be interesting is because the people that understand entry model 4, all right, do or understand also that when we reach the first zone, that we can also now look for impulse entries to the upside, further continuation. That means that we do not have to wait for price to push back, come down and put it into support to then look for the continuation. Okay, so if we react from it from the bottom, there are plenty of opportunities here potentially on the 30-minute or the 50-minute, whatever. Where we can potentially look for that continuation impulse here. But let's talk about the macros first, because I think the macros are important before we go down towards the 30-minute here and talk about the potential. Okay, let's go to the higher time frame right here. So number one, obviously the new monthly candle now has set in a top wick, it's set in a bottom wick here. But what's important to mention is that we still were unable to break the lows, even though we looked extremely bearish yesterday, during the NFP at least, right? Very bearish. But we didn't break this particular level here. On a 1 night, it's around 2284, right? 2284. That was the level to break for gold to look for that continuation here. I still believe some way that we can look for further continuation down, because it's just not looking that strong for gold. But if you go to the weekly time frame here, okay, we have some gap to fill. That gap fill is actually coming very, very close right now. And if you go to the daily, it becomes a little bit more obvious. A little bit more visible. Let's see if it's loading. You guys have any issues with that, lady? I don't know what it is. I think let's just reload it. It's taking way too long. There we go. Okay. So let's talk about the daily here, right? You have that initial move up here. We were unable to break the lows. Okay, the lows are still not broken yet. We tapped into it. We didn't break it yet. If you start breaking it, you bet it's time to come down here. But also, if you start getting towards, I think, this next zone here, this next key level, right? If you go to the monthly time frame, you know what I mean. You start flipping it, or the weekly, it doesn't really matter, okay? And you start getting towards this particular zone, right? It's kind of like the Sunday open, okay, of the previous week, right? The 23-27-ish level. You start tapping into it. There are many scenarios where this could happen, fam. We shoot up and we start flipping bearish again, and we start breaking the lows, and we can look for that continuation here. So overall, you know, we're looking at bearish momentum. We still have not broken the lows here, so there are long possibilities in the short term. But I think based upon the overall move, if we push up here, okay, and we get into the level and we get rejected from it, yeah, then we might be reversing, potentially looking for a rollover, right, to the downside here. I would at least not be that surprised if that's the case at all. So that's definitely something that I'm taking in consideration. But does it mean now that I'm only looking for shorts? Not particularly, because we still can come up to get there first, right? To get towards that high. and that high is still around 120 pips away, right? The 23.27, the Sunday open, the previous Sunday open of the previous weekly candle, okay? So therefore, that's still a potential move to make, okay? Now the first level is the previous weekly very low, of course, all right? If we had said in the bottom week, we would have taken this position. No doubt in my mind, we would have gone long here, all right? We would have break out of that range. We would look for that continuation. But now at the same time, we have that next level, okay? What I want to do is this. I want to first, before I continue, welcome you guys. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. Let's see who we have here with us today. How can I forget to say hello to my fellow traders today? What's going on? How's it possible? Thank you for the support. All right, 521 likes. That's nice. It's a good start. Elena, good to see you. Thank you as always. Candle Slanger. Maria Gonzalez. Moaz. Moaz is killing it in the Discord. I can see you, my friend. I can see you, G. Listening to my favorite channel, LTA, and trading from the beach. LTA, baby, with the legend Lorenzo. You're trading from the beach? Cheer up, man. Well done. Well done. Alejandro. Juan. Shout out to my South Americans as well. A lot of South Americans here. Much more than I thought initially. It might be my name. It might be my name. It probably is my name. All right? Great, man. Amazing. You guys are here. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. As always, let's continue the process here. So yeah, I hope that makes sense, right? The entry model 1 here. Didn't you guys? Yeah, you guys probably saw the entry model 1, right? You claimed that the previous daily value area high. You also are creating somewhat of a W formation, right? That's usually a good sign. And you know also that at the same time, a lot of guys would get trapped here, all right? The only reason is the entry model 1 has to have a bottom wick in order for us to enter a position. So it has to give us at least somewhat of a low here before we can move and break the highs here, okay? So let me know if that makes sense here in the chat. If you guys are at least aware of that, okay? The fact that you have seen the previous daily very high, you see the double wick confirmation, you see the third candle, but because it's just shoot up without any remorse, there was no entry for us in that manner, okay? Even though, you know, the analysis, you could say, like the direction is correct based upon the highs and everything around that, okay? Now, not really nothing to worry about. There is still another move here to make, and that's another move towards the upside, towards the previous weekly PoC. So there are going to be, you know, a couple things can happen here. We're either going to get rejected at the previous weekly very low. That's one layer. Now there is some momentum, which is nice. So if we get rejected here and we fall back into the range, then we might see an entry model here based upon the regular trade setups, the regular entry model 1 or something like that. But also if you start now with the new introduction of entry model 4, we start creating that formation and we break above here. We look for the continuation play set up towards the previous weekly PoC as well. Okay, so there are two scenarios here. I'm gonna be quite neutral for now. And you guys understand we're looking for that potential move pullback to then roll over and come down again during the CPI, maybe. Could be. And we continue today up and tomorrow's the time to come back down again. Could be. Who knows? But at least let's look at our next level, which is the previous weekly very low, to see what we can do for there. In case you want to know where the previous weekly very low comes from, that's a full week of trading. All right, the first key level is the previous weekly very low. You can see that we have been hovering around that level for a while previously as well. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and now again potentially 4th time that we tap into it. Okay, in this case from the bottom, and potentially look at a break or a rejection play here. So yeah, this is where our next candle will come, or our next potential setup will come into play, and that's something definitely that I'm willing to look at. Okay, so yeah, that's definitely on our radar. Sounds good. If you're new and you have no idea what we're doing here, we're trading LTA concepts. Make sure you download the ebook if you want to get it and you want to understand what we're doing here. Okay, it's free to download right there. And in regard to my trades, one more trade, and we're gonna double our risk, which I'm very happy about. All right, one more trade and we're gonna double our risk. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Okay. Cool. Next key level is here. And we are aware of the 4-hour closure, of course, in around 30 minutes. So that should be good. That should be interesting. All right. Clean. Yeah, no, I think it was the 4-hour. Yeah, it was the 4-hour. It was the 4-hour, indeed. It was a while ago. That was the previous candle continuation here. Indeed, yeah. All right, fantastic. Why not the fixed POC from Friday? The fixed POC from Friday. The fixed or the daily, you mean? I think you're talking about... I think you're talking... Or unless you talk about the swing. Is that what you're talking about? No. I don't see anything else than the previous weekly. I think it's pretty clean. I think it's pretty clean key levels, to be honest. Or pretty clean key levels to me here. Nothing too crazy with me. I just see the right levels in my opinion. And that is the previous weekly and the previous weekly. For now at least. We're tapping into our first level. So what do we want to see here? An entry model 1 rejection. And we take it down. Or a failed entry model 1. It could also be an entry model 1 based upon the retest continuation. But a failed entry model 1 will be the first entry model 1 is setting up. It starts to compress and then we still break off. Then our stop will be there and our continuation will be the previous weekly for POC here. So we have 3 different entry possibilities. It all depends on how we close this next 30 minutes. And then we kind of can see here which one is going to be the most beneficial. If that makes sense here. Shambach says, I fumbled so hard I was in long at 23.03, but when I saw a small pullback, I closed it. Where was your stop? Where was your stop? Let me know. Let me know, fam. So unfortunately, this week I do not have an opponent anymore, so I will not fight. But I will. I'm gonna tell you something interesting, and it's perfect. I will be an official commentator of the fighting series, and it's gonna be. I believe it's gonna be streamed. So I will not be fighting, but I will be commentating. Fuck yes, guys, let's go. A boxing commentator right here. Lorenzo Corrado, let's go. It's a good alternative. Yeah. It's unfortunate though. But at the same time, it's kind of cool as well. Becoming a commentator on the series instead of fighting there myself. So yeah. It's gonna be funny though, man. That fucking Dutch guy becoming a boxing commentator now. Maybe that's gonna be my new job. Maybe I like it so much that trading is gonna be my no. Of course not. Yeah. Slip in some LTA terms, exactly. Completely agree. Are you waiting for sell position up at next resistance 23.18? No, I'm waiting for... Yeah, well, now we're at the previous weekly very low. It's at 23.16, actually. At least on a 1 day, right? The next 30 minute is going to be the 4-hour candle closure. So obviously do take consideration that if the 4-hour closes, it's going to be bullish, right? A bullish, very strong 4-hour candle. So there are two things. Either we're going to see an entry model 1 on the 15-minute or on the 30-minute for continuation to the upside if we close above it. If we close below it, then there is a chance of a potential pullback short, right? Which is the riskier play, right? Based upon that 4-hour closure. It's the riskier play, especially if the 4-hour candle closes above, unless the 4-hour closes below in that 30 minutes and we push up and we flip bearish, then it's definitely worth a short on the entry model 1. But if we close below it, you know, we do close strong, right? And the next candle comes down first and it starts to settle, then an entry model 4, which is the new entry model, which is not in the ebook yet, is then also a continuation play. So there are a couple ways, man. A couple entries, but this next closure will give us the candles, unless we just go straight to the moon. Then there is just nothing we can do here. Okay. This is quite an unfortunate setup. Otherwise, we would have taken that trade right here. We would have set in the entry right away. And I would have streamed earlier as well. A little bit to make sure that we were in that entry. But there is resistance here. There is definitely resistance here. So, we'll see. There is definitely resistance. So yeah, the last thing we want is a continuation push up before the 4-hour closure. Like a strong push up here. If it's a little bit, it's fine, because what can happen is if you pull back, you hold, you flip to the support, you look for continuation. But there are also instances where you close below it and you still break above it and you look for continuation. That's why entry model 4 is going to be really good for the live streams. Because we're going to have a little bit of a higher frequency when trading. And even when we get stopped out in position, sometimes it's worth, and it all depends on the momentum and the volume, to immediately enter a trade, by the way. So you could say a hedge against your losses or whatever, without, you know, forcing trades, just because something like that. You get my point. So yeah. The yearly membership 1 day left. Yeah, okay, it's in the bottom. Indeed, I agree with you. It's in the bottom. But it's actually closed already, fam. The VIP is closed. There is no way to get in for now. What you can do, though, is you can sign up for the waiting list. And in the waiting list, you can, you know, get an email when we open up again. That's it. Okay? But indeed, I had to change the banner. Maybe I have the banner. Let me see if I can find it. But I will have to integrate this myself. Let me see. Let me see if it's possible. I think it's possible. Where is it though? I have it somewhere. I have it somewhere at least. Let me see if I can find it. Where's the banner? No. Man, I need to reinstall my PC, man. That's what I need to do. Okay. No, it's not there. It's not there. I think it's this one. Yeah, I think I found it. 20 minutes, fam, for the closure. Oh shit. Welcome to live streaming, fam. The place where everything is possible with you and me. That's why I prefer live streaming over content creation. Well, it is content creation, but I prefer live streaming so much more because it's just going with the flow, right? Completely going with the flow. Nothing that can really stop us here if you make a mistake, whatever, man. Let it all flow. Naturally. That's why we love streaming so much. It's much better than making videos. At some point I have to do it though. But you know what I mean. At some point we have to. Yeah. Anyways, I've been a member since you started YouTube over a year ago. I missed the Enter Model 4 video yesterday. Can you surely go over it? Are you in our group? Oh, no, don't do this. Don't go. "20 minutes, man." A lot can happen in 20 minutes, though. Just so you know. Man, that bottom week would have been... That would have been a monster trade, man. An absolute monster trade. "20 minutes, right? A lot can happen in 20 minutes. And a pullback can also still happen. Okay. So it's gonna be most likely EM1 if you pull back. If you would go short, where would you TP be? Well, number one. Oh, you mean here? Okay. Back at the entry models, like back at the initial entry. So back in this range. Like practically a retest of this range. Okay. So a pullback into where we came from. Obviously. Something like that. The next level though is there. That's another layer. But that's way further ahead. That's nothing to worry about for now. This though is the most likely scenario. Okay. Yeah, on futures I entered late London. I said it in our group. I would look at the next 4-hour closure. So on futures I was in already. I'm testing out a strategy, scalping, LTA. Well, scalping. Sometimes scalps turn into bigger trades. You know how that goes. But yeah, for here we need to wait for at least a retrace and then see what we can do. By the way, that scalping strategy is gonna be insane. I'm gonna try this already. It's gonna be cool. You're gonna love it. How big was his candle? No bottom wick. 120 pip candle so far. Damn. Damn. Yeah, pretty good though. What are your predictions on the FOMC? Will it break 2286? 86. That could be. I mean, it could be, right? We're moving up aggressively before the news, before the major news. Like, I'm always thinking, why are we doing that, right? And at the same time, Bitcoin, by the way, is coming down. That's kind of interesting. Bitcoin is dropping quite aggressively. But yeah, man. No, it's possible. But like we said, we had that monthly candle, that weekly candle here. If we start getting towards the top here, we get rejected, then we flip bearish and we break it. You know how bearish that actually is? If you start coming up and you flip this one, then there's just a big chance of a breakthrough moment. Okay? A continuation down after that initial, you know, after that initial swipe, right? Setting in the highs and then coming up into that level. That's why this level is such an important level. The previous weekly PoC at 2327.7605, which is also the opening price of the week of the previous candle, the previous weekly candle. Okay, so you also have that level right there aligning. So you have two key levels here, very close to each other. Obviously, this is where, yeah, this local top might be coming into play with a wick. You know, a quick wick and then a closure below it. Well, we're gonna find out, man. We're gonna find out. But for now, for this trading session, this is our level. For now, the 23.16. Yeah. One second. Cool. Hey Lorenzo, all euro pairs have no weekly top wick. How can we play interrupt this inaccuracy? Well, let's look at the dollar for a second, because the dollar took out the previous weekly high. Is now not looking that particularly strong indeed. So if you start pulling back into this range here, I think the euro pairs are gonna move up. And if that happens, then you're gonna set in that top wick that you're talking about, potentially here. Okay, so at the same time you are in a range, you're getting rejected from it. If you break above the 105, I think you can look for continuation. For now, I don't think that's the case yet. And there is that gap below, so a retracement into that zone might be interesting after taking out the previous weekly high, pulling back, and then who knows, looking for continuation, something like that. And I think when you go to the Euro USD, we can check out the Euro USD for a sec while we're waiting here. If you go towards the weekly, you said? Yeah, well, you might be setting it in shortly. I mean, I would not be surprised though. We took out the lows here, which is actually beautiful. And if you zoom out and you get towards the lows right there, right? This particular range, this is kind of the consolidation range we were talking about initially. So if you look at this area of consolidation, then that is still the consolidation, and this is still the expansion. And now, you know, you're retracing in that zone. So when you're looking at this level, you can see that you tapped into the value area high, right? The fixed value area high, this particular moment. And if you start, breaking above it here in the next candle, then it might be that the thing you're looking for, right? To potentially push up again. I think the open is there, right? So something like that. If the dollar indeed decides to tank and pull back into the range. Yeah. Definitely. Could you review the smart money concepts indicated by Lux? I'll go on trading view. I think I know this one. I would trust your own analysis, to be honest. That's my opinion. Just trusting your own actual analysis. Because, you know, when it comes down to that indicator, you know, I never fully trust it. Like, it can make mistakes here and there. And especially because the market is fractal. So then you're looking at a certain time frame. You look at a change of character, whatever the case may be, right? And then it's not the same on the you know, it's different on each time frame, and you're gonna get confused. So it's better to just draw your own analysis and just utilize utilize that and make it something that becomes just so automatic that you can just do it in a second, which you will probably do after some weeks or months of practicing it. Yeah. Okay, we're pulling back at least. That's good. That is better. That is better. 'Cause That is better. We have 10 minutes for that 4-hour candle closure. That's a strong candle closure then. Above the previous weekly very low. That's strong. Right, the 4-hour closure above is strong. Especially after that initial push here. Right, creating that W formation. Breaking out of that consolidation. And then potentially making that, W-shaped recovery, you could say. So yeah, anyways, the 4-hour candle will open up. And then if we drop and get into our level, we have one level to think about, and that's the EM1 on the PW very low. So you want to see somewhat of a retracement. It doesn't have to be on the higher time frame, especially not when you break up and you come back down. Are you using fair value gaps as confirmation sometimes? No, not really. I do use them as targets. Potentially sometimes, okay. But it has more to do with low volume nodes, clean traffic. So we utilize it, but it's completely different. Because we're basing it more volume. Yeah. I am impressed though with the market today. The day before the CPI, the worst play would be when nothing is happening throughout the New York session. So at least we have some action. While it's pulling back, I will close partial my position. Yeah, I done that as well in futures. I took out a couple contracts as well. But, you know, the next zone is definitely going to be way higher. Way higher. We're looking specifically at the previous PoC here, all right? Something like that. And that's sitting right there. On the futures chart as well. And we are just breaking above it also now on the futures chart as well here. So yeah, no, the 4-hour looks really strong. Even though, right, the 1-hour had the same thing on futures. So you should think about, okay, why are we pulling back? Well, this is the NFP. And these are the NFP highs, okay? When talking about rest liquidity, then this is where you want to be. You want to be above that exact level. So if you can swipe it, who knows? We'll see. Look at the NFP here. But yeah, I definitely took out some contracts as well in futures from that earlier trade now, and leave like 50% running towards the previous week PoC if that is the continuation play. But for us here, the pullback is a must, because we cannot enter in the middle of an expansion without any confirmation randomly and then hoping for the best and then putting our stop loss, whatever, under this candle. I don't see that as a solution. The playbook is made for our confirmations. Now with our new entry model, you will start seeing over time, and this I think comes very handy. I'm still gonna be careful with the risk of EM4, because I'm not 100% finalized yet. With testing purposes, you know, the simulations. But once it's done, I can fully risk also on EM4 as well. And it's gonna increase the frequency of trading. Also on the live streams. Because it's an alternative of a setup that, you know, that we have seen many times before. Matter of fact, we have seen this a couple of times already in this last expansion. So Yeah, it's gonna be an amazing add-on to our playbook. We need to keep innovating, and that's the way to do it. We analyze, we have our basic foundation, and it was good, man. Start out with 3 entry models to work with, and then build and work your way up. Right? So now the 4th one is coming, and then you can start deciding here. What I realized though, a lot in our community is that a lot of guys, they see an entry model, and they happen all the time, and they see it, and they think, oh, I have to take it. And they completely forget about the structure, about the trend, about the time of the market. What time is it, right? Somewhat between Asia and London, when nothing is happening, right? They start entering their positions because they're seeing an entry model 1. We need to get rid of that. We need to get rid of that, right? Yes, we created the entry models because you see them happening a lot around your key levels, but it's up to you to decide which one you select and which one you neglect in order to trade here. All right? Oh, that makes sense. Sometimes less is more, especially when you're looking at it, because a lot of guys are excited. They're testing out the entry models, and then they don't care about the time of entry. They don't care about the structure. They just look at 3 candles and they make the decision. And that's definitely something that we wanna work on. So that's something that we're gonna do a lot. We're gonna get a lot of standard structures in play here. I have nothing against counter trend trading. You guys know it. I do it all the time. But selective though, right? When the volume is there. Dude, I need your suggestion. I'm in a buy at 23.30. Hold or exit. Okay, you're in drawdown. You're long from there. From where? Is that from the NFP? Did you enter during the NFP? Anyways. Well, anyways, this is good so far, right? I don't know where your drawdown is, what your drawdown is, what you can handle. But if we see this closure above here on the 4-hour, we're closing at least above a key level. And then we are going to look for further continuation up towards this level. So I'm not saying you should hold it, but I'm just saying that that's what we're looking at. And we're looking for that potential continuation. Gold will continue lower this week. It's something that I'm definitely aware of. Definitely aware of. When we start pushing up. I'm in long from this previous Sunday open from yesterday. Wait, sorry, the current weekly. Just the Sunday open, okay. Okay, yeah, that's good. That's very good. That's good. You see actually an entry model 3 here, right? You consolidate, you manipulate, you expand. That's an entry model 3. Long there, stop loss below. And then you target, yeah, whatever you want to target. Indeed, I do like it. And you reclaim the Sunday open, which is great. So yeah, no, it was a good trade. If you took that trade, indeed. Tomorrow is so stacked with news that taking entry models will be tough. Well, entry model 4 will be interesting though. Why? Because I'll explain entry model 4. We did it with our group yesterday. Entry model 4 will be very interesting because what in essence happened here was just, this was our key level at 23.34. It was the previous Sunday open of the week before that. Right, the Sunday open of the Sunday of the 26th of May. This is where we were when the NFP came out. And usually what you would look for is that double wick confirmation for an entry model 1. So you get into that level and you see, okay, double wick, you want to break the highs here. If you would have broken the highs here, you would have said, okay, that's an entry model 1. Right there. Now we didn't break the highs. Matter of fact, we broke the lows. That's entry model 4. That's entry model 4. But yeah, we will talk about more often on stream as well later on, when these things actually present themselves. Okay, pullback. Where did we close though? We closed above it, right? We did close above it. Okay, that's good. That's very good. That's very good. That's very good. Okay, the 30-minute. Next 30-minute, if we close similar to this here, then we will have a long continuation play or a short play, but we're gonna find out where this candle closes. We will find out. Yeah, man. No, I like it a lot. I like EM4 a lot so far, and the community likes it as well, which is great. We have our new channel set up as well in our group where we talk about reviews of this entry model. And what I do in essence, I use the community as a case study, right? They're testing it. They're testing the entry model, right? And we're looking at the continuation plays to see if it's possible. All of that stuff here. So that's exactly what we're looking for. The more data, the better it is. And I'm going to analyze all of that later on at the end of the week. So yeah, man, that's very nice. It's very good, actually. How are the fundamentals of gold? Well, fundamental-wise, they released a statement that China is not buying gold any longer, right? So yeah, that's definitely something to take in consideration, you would say. But yeah, you know what the thing is? We have so much information already based on what we're currently are seeing here. The confirmations are coming on a day-to-day basis here. I think that it's important in the long term, but if we are day traders or scalpers, it becomes less and less and less and less and less relevant. If you are investors, it becomes important, becomes crucial. If you are long-term swing traders, holders, right? Super important. Man, what a price action here. Even if you come down, setups, entry models will be there. If the entry models here do not appear, they will be there. But like, they're going for this bottom wick. This top wick is very weak, so they're playing with us, man. That's all I can say. Gold is playing with us. She's a little bit grumpy today. $50-minute candle shows no top wick. Man, trading view is slow, but yeah, very weak. But a top wick. There is something. There's a little wiener. A little wiener. Nothing too fancy. I agree. Yeah. So if you close the next 30-minute candle above it, and we break the highs, that's our entry. That's our entry. Did you two call buys in London? Late London, yeah. Late London before, yeah. Yeah. But obviously here, I only trade on the account on the live streams. So I do not trade outside of this account. On live at least, sorry. Because I think it's a little bit, you know, if I would start trading outside of it, you know, and we encounter a loss, and then I suddenly win in Asia, and then it's like, yeah, okay, right? So I rather keep it clean just for the lives and have something separated. We're pushing though, so that's all right. That's okay. That's good. That's good. When's entry? In the next 30 minutes. That's an entry model 1 if we close above it. Which is now in next 20, it's 24 minutes. 24 minutes for now. It's beautiful because the 4 hour has then set in a nice bottom. And if it starts flipping, then we might look for that initial continuation play. So, yeah. Bro, how old are you? I'm 30, my man. Yeah. I turned 30 years old. Damn. We're growing up. It's perfect. Because I'm talking to you, to guys that are 18. You can get along with me. I can talk to you guys that are 60. You can get along with me. Hey. That's beautiful. Yeah, the 50 minute. Yeah. So the 50. Let me go over the 15. So, like on the 50, we do not have the double wick confirmation here. I'm not really big fan of the 15 because if we get the 30-minute closure here, the next candle, very clean. Very clean. But I do like the strength of it so far. I do like the strength of the candle so far. Let's go to lower time frame for a second. Unless you call this an entry model 3 on the lower time frame. The 4 hour closed above it. So, you know, there are some really good things about that setup as well. But it still has to break above the 2320 in my opinion. The 2319, sorry. Let me go to the 3 minute. Yeah, that's at the initial, that initial break. Yeah, it is a potential. The only problem is going to be that your stop is going to be bigger. That's definitely, yeah, that's the scenario. So yeah, it depends what you prefer. It might be good though, because you have all the fractals aligning here. Same as with the rebreak of the highs, you'll probably see the same thing happening. So, but then it's gonna be just a one-to-one setup, I think. And that's usually not. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's usually not what we're looking for. But if the 30-minute can come down, that would be the ideal case scenario. But I do like it as well. To be honest, it is a strong play. And the 4-hour set in a very strong bottom now. And it tapped into the previous week very, very low after it closed above it. And there is not much volume above either. Right, you're breaking above that resistance as well here. So I will be in for that though. I will be in for that. And that continuation play here. Because on the 5 minute, you can see clearly that you have been consolidating, you manipulate, and you continue to drive price higher. But it has to break the highs here. But your stop is going to go below the lows. That's the way to go. Unless you're waiting for the retest. The retest entry of that position here. And you start to drive price further down. Target will definitely be the 2227. Like that's not really a question. I think it's worth it. It's worth it. The U does look strong. There are many good confluences around here. Right, we do have that resistance, but if you start breaking above it. And you have that strong W formation as well formed now. Right, that strong W here. I'm liking it. All right, if we start breaking the highs here, I'm in for a long towards the 2327. Yeah, so my order is set, my trade is below the lows. It ended up being a one-to-one setup, targeting the continuation play. Not much we can make out of that one. And the 4 hours seems to be very good, holding up very nicely. Now there is one more scenario. Now it will be the same trade. It will be the same trade. It just, even if this 30-minute candle closes, it turns into an entry model 1 on the break as well. So it's the same trade. Yeah, it's the same trade. So there we go. So it's actually an entry model 3 now, based on the lower time frame. So that's at 2220. But be aware of spread, whatever. 2320, right? Yeah. So Vantage. So that is, yeah, it's the same level. It's the same level. Something like that. And I look for that continuation play. Okay. Pretty straightforward, fam. Nothing really too, yeah, something to say here. It's just W formation looking stronger, setting up, breaking out of the range. Now the 4 hour has closed above it, which is important. The next 4 hour has set in the bottom wick. That's important. On the 30-minute, on the lower time frame, we start consolidating above here. You start coming down. You're now getting rejected from it though, so do take that into consideration. Doesn't mean anything for us though, because we're buying above here. So yeah, let's see. There we go. Hi Lorenzo, I'm at gold buys from 2302. I've closed partial, left 30% running. Would you let it run? If you have taken out partials, then I don't see a reason. 2302 you said. I think you're pretty good, man. Yeah. I think you're pretty good. If you have taken profits already and you can handle a little bit of, you know, you can handle some momentum shifts and you're willing to you know, to sit it out for a second, then you could do it. It depends how much you took out though. For example, I took out 50%. If you take the trade and it pushes above with a small amount of pips, would it be good to then move the stop to break even? I would say that, you know, okay, you can look at the internal levels here, but I don't think there is much happening in that range. All right, if you look at the previous weekly range, right, it literally draws it from the top to the bottom as well here. You can see that there is just not much volume traded. Where the volume has been traded was there. So if it breaks through, I think it could be, it might be like a stronger, you know, push up here. And if you don't close here, right? If the 30-minute candle closes below it, because that's what we're looking at. We look at the 30-minute candle. Yeah, then the next leg up is, for example, going to be, or if you close below it, you know, a potential retracement down, and then look for the continuation up. But it looks like a strong fill and a potential flip. So, you know, yeah, stop loss will be there still. It's still below the previous candle. I still like that. Still fine for me here. It's definitely some volume here. It's definitely some volume. Let's see where we close this 30-minute. If we close below it, then obviously, you know, our trade is yeah, it's kind of invalidated here, because then it could start, you know, then that level could become a problem for longs. Nothing for us to worry about, but yeah. Anyways, buyers are definitely willing to step in here. So yeah. What about the range from the 30th of April to around the 5th of May? Are some levels in take consideration? You could say so, but also look at the previous week and look simply where the volume has been traded there. And if there are low volume nodes, then you should think about, okay, so price came again to that same level and there was not much interest there. Maybe before there was, but based upon the previous weekly data, there wasn't. And that's kind of always something I'm trying to take consideration. It's okay. Like, if these early previous weekly levels are interesting and we are in a bigger range, because that's what we're doing here, we're trading back into the range again, right? Then how did that week, like, compared to the week before or the week after? Eur Usd analysis. Nothing yet. Dollar is, I think, moving. Let's see. We didn't came back above, so next level is going to be at 107.191. If you start closing below that, then yeah, it starts to look pretty bad. Pretty bearish. Did you delete entry model 1? Well, entry model 1 now is not, it's gonna be the same as entry model 3 here when you break internally. Sometimes an entry model 3 is the same as an entry model 1. But we will close our buy stop if we close this candle below the level. Because if the 30-minute closes below here, then it's much more efficient to start looking down here for our zone again and see what we can do around here, rather than trying to wait for that breakout. Yeah, pretty volatile though. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, pretty crazy momentum, up and down, up and down. If they go for that wick fill, right? Sorry, that bottom wick, that bottom fill of the previous candle. Yeah, then this is where it gets interesting again on the lower time frame for sure, especially on the 5-minute. It is actually interesting. Now I'm looking at it, to be honest, when you pull back in towards that exact level, the 2309. Because you have a very clean range. Very clean in regards to the highs and lows. So the high and the low, you pull back into that range, you get towards your level, which is then this zone, which aligns perfectly with that initial EM1 that we kind of like, that we filled, right? Because there was no bottom wick. And you create it and you look for that continuation. I do like that bigger range play. But that's only if price doesn't break the highs and it comes down. Maybe close your buy stop. Because the reason why that's so nice is because your stops can then be below here. And that's a really nice stop. A very clean stop loss. Because you have a couple levels in between that. And I really like that. And even this is a 1-to-1 then as well. This is a 2.75. You take profits along the way, so you will end up positive. But yeah, step by step. Let's see where we close this closest 30-minute. Yeah, if you start really going hard back up again, that shows me that there is just a lot of strength. A lot of strength. Why do you always have a 100 pip stop? This is a 65 pip stop indeed, this one. This would have been on the 1 hour, right? If that entry model would have been there. We talked about this one just when we started the stream. How big would that stop be? Let's see. $40 pips, 38 pips. So it all depends. It all depends. Is the buy stop order in place? The buy stop is in place. But if you close below it, then in like next 5 minutes, then we close it. Then we cancel our buy stop and we look for price to move down a bit. On what ID you're taking a trade on the tip of the mountain? There's always a bigger mountain behind a mountain. Is this enter model 1 without the bottom wick, which is valid? Enter model 1 without the bottom wick. No, the bottom wick was not valid. That's how we didn't take it. Exactly. How much do you risk per trade? $2,000. 4,000 in the next trade. 4 to 5, roughly. Because then we have the data. Then we have the information. Right? 50 trades tracked. Then we have the information. So the 50 trade done. Hopefully today. And then tomorrow I can finally double my risk. So yeah. Okay, let's say, bro, you took a trade on my TP level. Well, we're not activated yet, do we? To be honest, bro. We're still waiting. It's a buy stop. Why not looking for a sell? The retest of the previous daily very low. The previous weekly, you mean? Yeah, like I said, if the 30-minute closes, in like 2 minutes we close our buy stop. And we're gonna evaluate on the lower time frame again. Our key levels, the errors of few pips are really a straight level. A straight level of a full trading week. In this case, the previous week. At least this one. When buy stops are triggered, yeah. So buy stops are. So for people that are new to trading, buy stops are in essence entries that if price pushes up, you look for the continuation up. Whereas buy limits would mean you buy lower to hopefully see it flip and continue higher. So you get triggered lower to continue higher. Buy stops are to get in with the momentum. At least that's the idea behind it, right? The momentum play. Continue higher. For the new people, I think it's important to know that. You know, there's a massive difference between buy stops and buy limits and market orders as well. So a lot of new guys here. So I don't think we're going to close above it. So I think we can cancel our buy stop for now. As we pull back into the range. So we're going to press this button. Boom. Trade's cancelled. I don't think we will close this 30-minute candle above it. We actually haven't. All right. So that will change our plan. Our game plan. And that's the following. For me personally, like I said before, we have that lower range. And what I like here is the following. So I like this range. Okay, so we broke out of that range. So I want to use this range as our tool of reference. And look at that same consolidation and the breakout. The 4-hour candle is still closed above that key level, which is important. I want to see retracement a little bit deeper. And this is where we broke out. So we will have our key level right at where our initial entry model 1 was. There we go. And we're going to stick on the lower time frame. From the macro standpoint, we're looking at a potential fill of that initial gap here at the highs at the previous opening price of the week. And if the CPI comes out, potentially reversing and coming down here. It's gonna be, at least it's gonna be very interesting to see what will happen there. Tomorrow, right? Something like this. It's the lows of that initial range, pulling into that range and potentially seeing a rejection from there, starting to roll over here. So this is kind of the play we're making. The daily is still bullish. Previous daily still showed us potential for a potential short-term reversal play. So still looking at that potential retest before that rollover. We have now the internal structures here. So this whole range, right? We set the highs there, we set the lows here. One level is the 2309. Do you still think the gold will reach the 2320? Well, we'll see how we react at our next level. We clearly closed below the 2316. No visible entry models here around it. Not something that I would be interested in. So the next zone is at 2309, you could say. And that gives me the confirmation of the potential consolidation, expansion, and retracement, and then that move, continuation move. And if you start breaking already, right, and the daily candle flips bearish, start breaking down, yeah, then we might think, okay, what is happening below here, right? Below this daily support that we have right there, right? Because once you start breaking that, it's practically game over. Or it seems to be game over for gold in the short term. So that's the only way. The only way from personally is that last retest of this high. And then if it breaks, we don't know, right? That's kind of the trade that we're looking for in the lower time frame now to get to there. And that's exactly the previous semi-open. And this is the New York Stock Exchange open as well. So the New York Stock Exchange is behind us. That's good. Nothing to look for anymore. Did we cancel the buy stop? Yes, we did. It doesn't make sense to keep our buy stop open here now. As the 30-minute candle closed and came down way lower. Initially looked good, right? The 4-hour looked very good because the 4-hour had that flippening potential. It came down and it then flips bullish and it re-breaks the high, and there is no volume traded here. You could easily go up to fill up that gap. But the 30 minutes started to come down, close below it. So we canceled our buy stop. So now it's time to look in the internals, the internal range. And that should give us more information. Because we're still looking at the macros. We know what we're looking for in the macros. So now it's just looking at the entry models on the micros. This can be manipulation to expand to the downside. It could be. It could be, but that's not yet what I'm looking for. And if that's the case, then the re-break of the lows will be, for me, the confirmation to look for shorts. So yeah, I did close the futures position so far. We're testing out our new strategy now on a futures account, small account, nothing too crazy. So far so good. The 7th, the 10th, the 11th. So far so good. Looking solid. So yeah, I'm tracking everything, writing everything down in a spreadsheet, making sure that we have all that information for us later on. Pretty good stuff though, right? Before the CPI. Who trades news? Who trades CPI here? Who traded the NFP? I could better ask that question. Who actually traded the NFP here? We got a little win at the end of the stream. Not during the news. We didn't get triggered into our position during the news. We had set an order. Yes, sir. NFP was an L. Never. I don't. There's nothing wrong with not trading news, by the way. Trust me, there's nothing wrong with it. Maybe after, though. There are definitely always some opportunities after the news. If you like that. Some guys just skip the day completely. They're like, no way. I'm not going to trade it. I'm not going to touch it. Not for me. Lower time for a fixed value or high is to an imbalance. Yeah, you mean this one? Is that what you're looking for? Yeah, what in essence would be nice though, if is the following, that you take out the lows indeed quickly. Why? Because you then take out that candle, right? Of the opening price of the New York session. So you take out the New York lows and you continue to drive further up. That would be the ideal case. The ideal case scenario. But yeah. Candlestanger says, I just had my first entry model 4 win on the US30. Check it out in the LTA wins. If it was correct. Okay, let me check it. Okay, price tapped into it first. It broke the lows. Yeah, okay. So where was your stop loss though? I see where your stop is, but I mean, did you almost get stopped out and then still manage to survive the trade, or because the moment you broke below it, it seemed like we had a really clean entry model 1 actually after that. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the thing with this one is, which I would be careful about, right? I really think that's important. So that is that you see this candle, the reason why it came up. Why do you think it came up? Let me ask you the question. Why do you think you almost got stopped out, even though it's a winning trade? Yeah, it's the third candle that didn't have the top wick set. So it could have easily been in the lows and then flipping bullish. So I would definitely be looking at a top wick as well for this third candle that breaks it. Then I don't think there was any reason, or a less chance at least, to put a pull price back up towards the highs to create and take out the highs to then come down again. So I think this candle would have been, with a top wick, would have been a better confirmation. I personally would have not taken it when it would break the lows here. Once it did though, you know, come up and it filled it and it closed above it 2 times. You have now the double wick confirmation for the entry model 1 trade, which is there, and your stop loss is then above the previous candle wick, which would have ended you, you know, it would have been the same trade, but with an extra confirmation. So I see your viewpoint of the entry model 4, but the top wick is important here. Yeah, even though congrats, yeah, it's a good trade, but I think you got a little bit lucky there. I think you got a bit lucky there on this one. So yeah, the top wick is important. Yeah. Man, if the hourly candle closes above it, which is still a potential scenario, then it's still long there. But for now, let's see if we can continue to drive down a little bit more, act towards that level. Shorts Kings, Lorenzo, look at the US30 on 30-minute or enter model 1. It's the perfect trade. All right, if you say so, my friend, let's see if you're right. what time frame? Oh, the previous Sunday open. Okay, yeah, sorry, bro. I was confused. I thought you talked about the opening price. Yeah. On the 1 hour, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that fill of the wick, you know, manipulating the highs and then that breakdown here. Yeah, clean. Clean, bro. That's a clean trade. $500 looks strong. You could flip this. Oil just broke below today's very low. Okay. Yeah. Now I do like this a lot. I do like the way we come back to this range initially. And I potentially look at a continuation play. Also at this level. This initial range, which is also an internal range. You have a range in a range, in a range, in a range. So I like this a lot here. I like this a lot. If you start reclaiming the PW very low, then looking for continuation plays, man. Like I'm still looking at buys for sure. Yeah, you have also the internal range where you just practically consolidate, you manipulate aggressively, you break out and you retest and you continue. You've seen this also happening beforehand. It's very similar. So you see that double wick, if you start breaking this high, then it gets very interesting. Need to see how big this trade is though, because it's let me see how big it is. That's the target. It's not bad though. It's not bad though. And we smashed through the previous weekly very low twice with no remorse. Buyers are definitely willing to buy here. Kind of have this break. Yeah, I like this. I like it. Okay, I think I'm gonna enter a long fab. I'm gonna put my stops below the lows. The safer trade is below the lows. The previous daily very low, but it can get a little bit bigger. So if you can't handle that, then I would risk slightly less and potentially do that here. But I do like it. Is this breakout setup from the lower time frame where we've seen this manipulation happening, and then looking for the continuation to target the highs? It's worth for me. The safe trade will be this, and then we can remove our stop later on. It's also a possibility. But below the lows is also a scenario to look at. It's still one-to-one there. You're gonna end up negative if you start taking profits, so take that in consideration. It's the 50-minute play. I'm gonna set a buy stop. I'm gonna set a buy stop around that zone. Stop loss below. The low still potentially setting it up in that range as a protection layer. I do like it. Yeah, man. Okay. Okay, I've set a buy stop at 23.15.5. I like this confirmation of this internal range. So you consolidate, you manipulate, you expand, you retest, you look for continuation. Yeah, worth it for me. Couple levels in between. And the next trade, we're gonna double our risk. 4 to 5% per trade. Finally. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. But I do nothing without data for you guys. So that's the main reason. We have managed to stay above an 80% win rate. So as long as we stay above an 80% win rate here, I was actually saying 75. Then I'm good to go. When the 50 trades are hit, we're now at trade 50. Or very close at least. All right, one more. One more. And then we can double our risk. We slowly scale it. And the reason why we slowly scale it is because then everything we do is data driven from the stream. So there's nothing is upstream, you know. No, this account for the New York, boom, data driven. So I'm happy. Be aware of spread as always. At least this is what I'm gonna do. So, well, you know what happens, right? Yeah, I do like it. You see this consolidation here on a bigger scale, the expansion, the retracement, the continuation, the consolidation, manipulation, expansion, retracement, continuation. The 4-hour closed above it. This might still be a 4-hour flip, right? If you go to the 4-hour candle, this could still result into the retest, the 4-hour flip, and then what we're looking for is that push towards the upside, in towards daily levels here, with one level in between, and that's the 21. It's practically the highs right there. Can we try to put a pending order with EM4? Maybe, but the thing about that is that you have a couple levels in between. So you really need to break lower, in my opinion, for shorts there. Like, I'm either looking for shorts up here, in this range, or below here. Below the range. What fixed range do you use? The fixed range. You said it. It's the fixed range, my G. Now let's get into the trade so I can take and get my drink and sit it out. Or should I do it now? Let me do it now quickly. It's going to sell, I promise you. If that's the case, then good luck. Then you win, my friend. Then you have won the battle. Lorenzo, you're gonna commentate on your boxing event? Yeah, man. Being a commentator, not a fighter. A commentator. They probably watch your YouTube channel. They're like, yeah, this guy, you know. This is what we're gonna do. My first commentary. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be awesome. I'm really excited for it. This Saturday. Okay, we're in. We are in, geez. We are in. Good luck with everything we have. Keep close on the 4 hour. 4 hour flip would be nice. Especially the 4 hour break. We talked about that one beforehand. Right? We talked about the 4 hour break as well. It's kind of something that you're looking at. Because if you see, if you see that, it's like awesome. That would be awesome. Nice W formation, right? A series of higher highs internally and higher lows. So a lower low, a internal higher high, an internal higher low, an internal higher high. And now we have that fill. And now we're looking at the flip and we tap into the lower time frame fixed POC, which is the consolidation, manipulation, expansion retracement into our key level, the lower time frame fixed POC. We have now the previous week is very low. It's a level that we have to break. But I think we're going to go for the highs here. And that's your first kind of TP point, is when you break out the highs. And then you leave the rest running for the next station. That's what I'm looking at. Something like that. So yeah, that's a TP point right there. Something like the highs. And then looking for the move. And that 4-hour flip. Otherwise, I'm following you more. The last 1 or 2 months, you are a nice guy. You also provide your ebook for free of cost, which many YouTubers don't do. Thank you, bro. Yes, sir. Yeah, the next version, we don't have a date yet, but we have much more information now for you guys to work with potentially. So yeah, interesting, right? Interesting. 2-hour candle close in an hour. 4-hour closes in 3 hours still. So we still have a lot of time there. I've downloaded the ebook. It's sometimes a bit complicated for me, but insane content. Yeah, it's a lot of information for sure. It's like, what, 74 pages, right? 74 pages. And you believe it if I tell you we wrote it in a week? I wrote it in a week. But here comes the catch. Obviously, it didn't take a week to create. You know, the creation, the actual writing took a week. But the ideas, the vision, you know, that took a little bit longer. A little bit longer, just so you know. Where's your stop? My stop is at 2205. Couple levels in between here, so yeah, just so you understand. What's with the 100 pip stop? Yeah, I know, man. I know. I mean, I can't choose it. It's sometimes bigger, sometimes smaller. Yeah, man. Let's look at the next 50 trades and let's calculate the average. Let's actually start writing. Let me get this sorted. I'll make sure we have this marked out. +6 months and life experience. It actually took a year. I think a year and a half. A year and a half. Yeah. Because you have to understand that you also need to test and backtest, simulate a real trade live, right? Like these, we have entry models for a reason. So yeah, there are so many more things, man, that come into play. I just sold gold and I'm about to blow my account. Please help me. Manage your risk, my friend. Manage your risk accordingly. Never put yourself in that position in the first place. All right. I don't care if you're short and we're long, or I'm long and you're short. I'm not, you know, I don't care. You can be right as well sometimes. Like, sometimes you're going to be right, sometimes I'm going to be right. But what I can say is that I manage my risk and I can afford to lose. Always. Will you do a video about entry models only? Yeah, absolutely. Entry models. We have our whole series, of course, now. But yeah, a lot of things are going to come on YouTube later as well. Where's the music? There we go. By the way, the interesting thing is here, is that on futures, the 4-hour candle already have flipped bullish. It's kind of interesting. Work. Do you trade futures? Yes, I do on the side. And also I'm using Top Step to test out my other strategies, my second strategies and things that I'm testing. I love it for testing purposes. Why are all of the crowds giving preference to futures? Because it's centralized data. That's number one. So it's not individual data, right? Decentralized data, it's centralized. That means that all the ticks and everything that you see happening happens it's the exact same on all the different brokers, right? There is no difference in data, which is one layer which people like. It's secondary, heavily regulated. Third, these prop firms now are coming out with all kinds of different promos, right? Where you can copy trade multiple accounts. So that's pretty popular now. And meta quotes was banned in the United States, right? So it's like so many different layers that just, you know, gives people the impulse to trade on futures. I like this though. I like both. I have no preference. I like both. I'm gonna keep a very close eye on the next 50-minute candle. And how we close it. Hard to manipulate. Yeah, really hard to manipulate. It's yeah, completely different story. But the slippage as well, right? All these layers. They're all connected to the same, you know, server, you could say. Or main server, you could say, right? These things are important. Now you work with contracts though, so it is slightly different. And there are definitely different ways where you have to manage it, right? So you know. How can I take partials and take, for example, 50% out on MetaTrader 5? How can I take partials? You click on this button here. If you don't have a trade manager, you can click on this button. All right, it gives you this. You change it up. You say, I want to close 50. And you click on close. And make sure your one click is not taken out. Or sorry, is off. Your one click trading is off. So the next 50-minute candle is kind of an important candle closure, but the most important in my opinion is the 30-minute. Lorenzo crowd out, just passed my challenge. I posted my certificate in Discord. Nice. Show me, man. Always happy to see that. Lorenzo, thank you. Finally, my friend, finally a funded trader. All I have to do is stick to the plan. LTA forever. Wow. Lark funding. These certificates, man. They look so nice. Looks like a diploma. Well, congrats, my friend. I'm happy for you. Very happy for you. Where's the stop? 2305, like I said. Right, we're below the previous week. Yeah, exactly. So we really wanted to break this. That's why I'm looking at the 30-minute candle to see if we can squeeze it in. The overall structure is still solid in my opinion, and we have been breaking below the value low twice. So yeah. I really do not mind blowing because I'm already dead some ghost. I really do not mind blowing. I really do not mind blowing because I'm already dead, so I am ghost. Bro, I'm sorry, but I really don't get it. Sorry, bro. What do you think about the bare knuckle fighting tournaments getting popular these days? I mean, it's so fucking savage, man. Like you're actually break your face with that shit. So I'm not a big. I mean, I would. You know, it's just crazy. It always needs to be crazier. Needs to be worse. Needs to be better. Yeah, man. So I'm sticking with boxing. For me, that's perfectly fine. Even though a lot of guys they get serious head injuries from boxing as well. Just so you know, it's not as it doesn't have to be a safe sport. But yeah. So if you drive lower, it's still, in my opinion, it's still fine until the 2309. And if you start really like having difficulties around the 2309, then it's gonna be an issue. But until then, I'm really not that worried. Yeah. Lorenzo, have you ever lost twice in one stream? Yeah, I think so. Somewhere like, it's been a long time ago. Must be at least a year ago. But yeah, I think so. Yeah. Have you ever won twice in stream also? For sure. 3 times one time as well. That was when we were trading more than just gold as well at the time. We're just in consolidation mode on the lower time frame. So we're gonna find out. Wix 9 is losing so bad every time he goes live. I mean, isn't he up like whatever, like in the long term? I think what people do, like they have a really short-term memory. People have a really short-term memory. It's actually really crazy. People lose twice in a row, maybe 3 times in a row, and then they're like, oh yeah, this guy is like the worst trader in the world. But it's also when we win. It's like it's the same thing. After 2 winning trades, you're the best trader in the world. So yeah, you should ask him for his, I'm not sure if he does that, but like just ask him for his track records. And that should help. Because, you know, I don't believe that that he's always losing. That's my opinion. Look at 30 minute. It's a nice entry model. I think we're good. Yeah, 30 minute. We saw the 5 minute, the 30 minutes showing some strength as well. Yeah, there's still some good things about it. Just gonna give it some time. That's it. We're practically at our entry. Lorenzo, Wicks, 9, lost 150 pips. Yeah, and then he wins 5 of them. Like, you know what I mean? That's how it goes. Some void would be nice. Yeah, some flip, some volume. How much would be where would be maybe at flip? Let me see. $1,000. Okay. Whoever says it's so funny how people see how many losses people get, but the minute they get a win, it's all cheers. They lose the next trade and they're complaining. Yeah, like, you know, that's the human brain. Pain, right? Pain stays. Wins fly away, pain stays. That's the reality of a lot of guys here. That's why they get emotional and yeah, I mean, that's why they lose usually money, because of the fact they're just so upset, and then they're gonna revenge trade, or they're just gonna wreck, you know, whatever. There's so many layers. So deep, man. It's trading. It's no joke. It's not like you know. It's not like blackjack, right? I would not be surprised if we start consolidating for like the next I mean, not like the next 20 minutes, to be honest, but let's see. Dwayne says, hi Lorenzo, I've been sending setups all week in the LTA Discord. I just sent in 2 more. Could you have a look at it? I'm at a 15-0, 100% win rate. All right, damn. Where is it? Where do you post it? I haven't seen you posting it in here though. Oh, in the indices. Is it the indices? Yeah, I like it. I like it, G. Yeah, beautiful entry model 1. Beautiful anti-model 1, my friend. Very well done. Well done. Very clean. Good job, brother. Yeah, we got some winners, some killers. It's getting there. We're getting there. It's beautiful to see here. Very nice. Very, very nice. How much do you risk? Around 2% on this one, and then the next trade will be, because it doesn't matter if you lose or win this one, 4 to 5% per trade. Yeah, very, very good. This is where we consider holding as well. Above the previous highs. I have lost 18 out of my 144 trades. Is that a good ratio? So calculate that with your, so calculate your win rate. And then once your win rate is calculated, then calculate your net return. Your net R. I'm not sure what kind of R's you're aiming for. What's your average R? And then you have probably a nice outcome here. And then ask yourself how much you risk. If the trade goes really against us, let's say, worst case, right? And it's still, there are many ways to manage it, to reduce our loss. But for now, we are just consolidating, right? We're just consolidating, and we just have to sit this one, just sit in this one out for now. I still like the overstructure, higher time frame. Still have that idea in my head. Us getting there, getting towards the 23, 27, or at least the lows here. Okay. So we're gonna see. I'm up 212k from 100k in 8 days. Real money? Or is that funded? Let me know. Because if that's real money, then you have some serious balls, man. Some serious balls. That's for sure. I always wonder in regards to the people watching and stuff, like what is what's like the average amount of money people are trading with? Doesn't say that they're taking the trades that we're taking on stream, but just like, you know, in general. What is like the average? I was always curious about that, but I would never know unless I would do some, you know, I would have a form in our Discord and ask people. You know, I'm not talking about prop firms, right? I'm talking about real funds. $2,000, $200, €3 and 70 cents. 2,040K of my own capital. It's actually much more than I thought, to be honest. For many guys, much more than I thought. It's actually quite interesting. $4,046, $50, 20K, 20K, 50 bucks, 500. It's all good. It's all good. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. The amount is irrelevant, like in many ways. Just so you know. Yeah. Hey, back at entry, fam. See? Don't worry about the roller coaster. When we're in drawdown, it gets tricky, and then, and when we're up, everyone is happy. So if you're not with me on this trade, right, and you don't feel that this is your trade, then just get out for free. Get out for free. Right? I'm never promoting people to take my trades anyways when I'm sharing setups here. It's just, if you like it and this is part of your plan, then beautiful. But I do believe we're going to head into a climax soon, that's for sure. It's not going to take that long anymore because we're heading towards the hourly closure. So yeah, definitely want to see how this hourly closes. 30-minute did close. Right, so we now have the next 30-minute. Let's say we close the hourly candle be below the 23.13. So below this zone, we might look for that continuation. We might cut it, right? But you know, that's also a fraction of our initial stop loss. But that has to be the hourly closure. So it's still 25 minutes, and if we start moving in the meantime, then we'll see. Yeah. Lorenzo, I need to make my Dutch better. Gonna type on here with Dutch from now on. All right. Sounds good. Talk some Dutch. I need to work on my Dutch now. Like it's actually that. It's the same thing for me at this particular moment. Alex says, I'm down about 750 since I started trading in February. I really need to get better. Have you tracked it with your spreadsheet? You got your spreadsheet, you got everything there? Let me know. Because if you have this, and you have the statistics, right? Your back end stats, then yeah, you can kind of see what where things go wrong. usually. Uh, 20, 350. Fill in as well. Where can I get in the description? Can anyone help me determine the previous weekly POC? Yeah, use the sorry, bro. Use the limitless LTA concept session breaks and New York Stock Exchange Sunday Open indicator, please, and see from there. Okay. It gives you these session breaks and all that stuff. The beautiful stuff right there. All right. Yeah, we're forming like a massive 1 minute fam. Like, look at that. It's like, it's actually crazy if you think about it. You see? Okay, let's see. This 5-minute candle closes in 30 seconds. Yeah, we're back at entry again for the 4th, 5th time now. Yeah, I think we're gonna get out, man. We're gonna get out, man. It takes too long. And a reclaim above the previous week very low is the best solution in my opinion. So, yeah, man. The only trade I would take is still the same level. So it's the same entry. We're out on break even, man. Yeah. It came back to our entry 5 times. And it's just consolidating now. So we need to see an expansion here. All right. Let me look at the previous weekly still. Okay, we are indeed getting rejected from the previous weekly very low. We wanted to break that. We still can break it. So this is where the trade is at. I think it's at the previous week very low. If you reclaim that level, previous week very low. There we go. And then yeah, wait for that break of the highs, and then look for the continuation play. 30-minute. It's something like, yeah, continuation play here, something like that. Yeah, man, we came back to our entry 5 times, man. So, you know, we gave it. I gave it time for sure. I gave it some time to develop. So the moment we entered, we started to gain that 1 minute range to develop it. So if we start to now break the highs here, let's say, right? like break these highs, then what you kind of see is that 1 hour break of the highs here. And then you still have a potential move of around 72 pips with a stop of around 73. So it's the same. It's a 1-to-1 again, right? It's a 1-to-1. If you look at that continuation play. Yeah, the 4 hour closes in around 2 hours. I'm still pretty positive about the 4 hour, right? That's why we came into it one time, but we held above that initial high. Like, I still like that initial move here. It's just the previous weekly very low is holding us back from breaking out here. So you're kind of in between that 4 hour flip and then the previous weekly very low level. So a break above it would mean the 4 hour flip, right? Would mean potential follow through. And then a break above the previous weekly very low to look at the previous weekly PoC. And that's the level that we have been talking about all day long. And also in Discord, we talked about this yesterday. We had I posted a pretty long setup there about, you know, what I'm looking for this week. And that is the retracement into that level, potentially the Sunday open or the previous weekly PoC here. So anyways, fam, yeah, that's it. We're out this trade for now. And if we break the highs, then it might be the moment to look for continuation up. So I'm not gonna quit yet though, because it can still happen, right? But anyways. Yeah, maybe 1 pip, that's it. I need to also look at the previous one. Yeah, that would be planned. That's our next. That would be my next trade if you start really breaking the highs that on the 1 hour at least. If the 50-minute at least breaks above here, I think then we have some room to continue to drive here. I think with a better confirmation, because initially we wanted to get that follow through right away, but it resulted into one big massive consolidation. The moment we're going to break out of this consolidation, I think, is where we can have a little bit of a better confirmation for a new entry. Okay. So yeah, let's do that. Let's make that happen. So why don't you grow an account with statistics, same risk? We will be doing that eventually. Like once we have our account set, and I'm gonna end up with the same risk. Every single trade will be the same risk. But for now we don't, because we're building out the information and the data. And I said at 50% we're gonna increase the risk. Now I'm gonna increase it to 5% per trade, right? To 4 to 5%, something like that. And then another time I want to increase it. So I want to go towards the 8, 9. I want to sit somewhere around there, if the data allows me to. That's practically it here. So yeah, what needs to happen is I need to actually occur like a losing streak for me to really still again thinking about raising it again. So now my goal is to increase it to the sweet spot, and then when I know where the sweet spot is, then I know what to do. So yeah, GG for this trade. Nothing too fancy. This was 66 pips, by the way. Oh shit, this should be green already. Okay, cool. Yeah, so yeah, same thing, but waiting for the break. That's it. Don't give me that, you see, I told you so vibe. Don't do that, fam. Don't do that. I told you so, yeah, right. When we were in drawdown 4 times. You didn't say that. You didn't say that. That's a good one. I told you so. Yeah, right, G. Oh, it's so funny, man. So I love it. Nah, I really enjoy the streams. Okay. We're reversing to 1 hour play. Is that what it is? Yeah, that's what it is. For sure the safer bet. You know, breaking above the previous week very low. For sure the safer bet. We took it regardless because we had that momentum from that retest. But yeah, if you start consolidating there after some point, especially the 30-minute closure was the game changer. The 30-minute candle closure. And it's better to get out. And I still waited pretty long for that continuation, even after 30-minute closure. But that break above the highs here now is that better confirmation for sure. So it's actually something like this. To the Sunday open. Previous Sunday open, sorry. Unless we close here. If you close here in 9 minutes, between that, same thing. Better is the word. Damn. Okay. Yo, once we're at the 90, fam, and we're gonna go to the 100, what should we do? How should we celebrate the 100,000 subscribers on YouTube? How should we celebrate this? We're growing around 500 subs a day. So you can do the calculation. 4 streams a week. Let me know how we can celebrate the 100. Come up with some ideas. We have to celebrate it, no? A 24-hour stream? The last time we did a 24-hour stream was at 10,000. Think about that. A year ago. A year and a half. A 24-hour stream. Yeah, that sounds actually... it sounds quite interesting though. Like 2 12-hour streams is better. With a... with a 1 hour break in between. Because you have to set up your stream again. You can only stream for 12 hours because YouTube doesn't save streams that are longer than 12 hours. So you would have an 11-hour stream, you would have a 12-hour stream, something like that. 2 streams. I'm actually quite interested in a 100k stream. Not gonna lie. But we're not gonna only look at the charts for 24 hours. Because that, you know what I mean. That doesn't make that must make too much sense. You know? Yeah, man, no. We cannot look at the charts for 12 hours straight, right? I've done it before, but no. Yeah, we need to you know, do some YouTube, watch some YouTube, you know, have some fun, man. Just have some fun. Maybe do a boxing session. I get my personal trainer here and I stream the session in between. That's something that could be interesting. I'm gonna ask my trainer if he's interested in that. He'll probably say yes because, you know. My trainer is a G, by the way. My trainer is a real G. He has a video on YouTube, a fight on YouTube with 16 million views. 16 million views. That's more than UFC fighters get. What does G mean? Gold. He has 16 million views. I believe it's 16 million views on his one of his fights, where he became national champion of Indonesia. And bro, it's no joke, man. It's no joke. He is no joke. And he's the best trainer you could ever wish for. Look him up. We can maybe watch it later on, but we're still trading. But no, his name is Theodorus Ginting. Maybe Indonesian people for sure know him. I don't think you know, international guys know him. Not 60 million, 16, 1.6. Still a lot though. Still a lot. 6.4, 16, 4. Catch you later, Lorenzo. Are we doing a London stream tomorrow for the VIP? Yeah. Tomorrow London session. You see, we're back at our entry, initial entry at least. So it's still consolidating. It's literally still the same. So really, it's really the break above these highs that you know, where it gets interesting now. Because anything below here, I'm not really into it, and I'm also not really into shorts yet either. So it's really, I think gold is holding up very strong regardless. What's his name? Theodorus Ginting. He has been trading me. So if I fight for him, for his fight club. Is it better to trade with lower risk to reward ratio or lower lot size? I mean, the risk to reward is kind of irrelevant. It depends what your strategy is. So that totally depends. If you have a really small account and you cannot handle bigger stop losses like 74 pips or whatever in this case, yeah, then risk less. Yeah, risk less, right? Yesterday, the EM4 event was crazy. Amazing, bro. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah. Yeah, let's see if the volume is here, man. Consistent though. Yeah, we did push it up a little bit. I think our entry was at 2315.5. We're now at 2350.4. So we would still be hovering around our entry right now if you were in position here. You can really see that we start to compress now, right? We start to squeeze, I could better say. And then, like, you know, get tighter and tighter, and at some point we're going to break out. But yeah, the key levels are still the previous week very low. If you really start closing the hourly candle is again close below the previous week very low. Yeah, then it's gonna be really hard, guys, to break the highs. Anyways, did you have any YouTube traders that you watched back in your learning days? Yeah, I watched these old guys. I watched these old guys. Anton Krul, Tom Hogard. You know, these type of guys. Like, I really like to watch older guys for some reason. Like institutional dudes, you know. I'm not really into the YouTube scene that much. But, you know, do I know good traders and good streamers? For sure. Like, like attracts like, right? Raja Banks. I actually didn't know Raja Banks until I started streaming. I actually didn't know any streamers. So for me, really, it was not for me like, okay, I'm gonna start streaming because I saw Raja Banks doing it. No, it was actually just, I wanted just to stream and trade live, and yeah, I mean, it just went from one thing to another. I don't know how it happened, but it happened. So, yeah. It just went from one thing to another, and we just started to hustle. And then the moment LTA came out, that's when things went like to the moon. When LTA concepts came out. That Theodorus Ginting fight was nice. Yeah, man, it was, bro. I wish we could watch it. If you decide not to trade because it just doesn't make sense because we're consolidating too much, we're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch my trainer fight. You're not gonna believe it. Bro, your views on ICT? Good concept. Good concept. Very subjective. Yeah. So there's no follow through, right? Also not for shorts. If you look at shorts here, like this is kind of the low that you're looking at, which then breaks the low, which gives you then the double wick confirmation for an entry model 1 short. The only problem with that is that you're in a pretty solid retracement stage now. Also on the higher time frame, where you're holding above this zone. And in order to roll over, I think we have to create a new daily candle potentially, set in the top wick, and then roll over. If we already roll over now, then tomorrow is going to be very interesting because they need some liquidity for tomorrow, right? Building up the liquidity for tomorrow for the CPI. The 2-hour close below. The 4-hour is the only thing that is interesting here. And that is that 4-hour flip. It's practically the only thing I would say makes the most sense here. But I think that we might be consolidating for a long period of time, to be honest, fam. We might be holding this range for a while. Otherwise, we would have seen a climax already much earlier. And I think we're just setting up for the CPI here. Okay. That's what I think. By the way. Why is the euro almost exactly the opposite to the dollar? Because the dollar index, believe it or not, is a basket of goods, basket of currencies measured against the dollar. The biggest one of those is the euro with around 52%. Negative correlation between the dollar and the euro. Just so you know. Okay. Yeah, so I think we're done for now, unless we start seeing some more volume, fam. I just don't see us breaking the highs within the next hour, right? And we have been streaming for around 3 hours already. If you start breaking the lows and we start coming down here, you start breaking the previous low better. But that means that the next hourly candle closure should be the third candle. Yeah, let's say you start breaking below this level, right? The 23.12. I think a small trade towards the 23.9 is possible. And then, but you're then looking at like a very small stop. So it's kind of like this move right here, which then comes down from the rejection of the previous week very low, and a double wick after the closure below here. So you close below 1 wick, 2 wicks, and you break the lows to set in the continuation to the downside. Yeah, that comes down back towards the 23.9. So that's the alternative play if you cannot reclaim the lows. But also that if there's not enough volume, what you're gonna do is you're gonna swipe the lows and you're gonna come back to the range again. So you really need to make sure there's enough volume to do that. So for now, pretty tricky. But yeah, we can set some alerts and see what happens, right? Why not? Because I want to watch the fight. Show you the fight of my trainer here. Quickly, while we're waiting then a little bit. But yeah, overall, did the Nasdaq recover? I think the Nasdaq recovered a little bit. Yeah, it did recover. So it actually came back towards the Sunday open. Yeah. Okay. So Nasdaq is on the verge of a recovery. Yeah. So this is a potential scenario. I don't think it's a trade that I would take. Okay. But it's definitely something that you can look at. Potentially the break of that low. This would have been an easy one. For sure, we talked about this already. Yeah, let's watch it. Yeah, you're right. Let's be patient here. We have the CPI tomorrow as well, right? We know that. So let's make that happen. Who is scalping, by the way? Let me know in the chat if you are a scalper. Because then I have some good news for you. And that is the scalping strategy. A scalping variant. I want to start doing some scalping sessions in our Discord at the beginning, and then later on, if it's a success, move it potentially to YouTube as well on the side. So, of course, we have our main tool, our main strategy, everything that we're doing here. But it's the trade management that's different. That's all it is. It's just the trade management, right? So that's definitely something that we can start talking about. You know, we can start testing this, and yeah, man, looking forward to share more about this for sure. Sammy says, hey, I just watched the fight. It's just something else, the transition from being beaten to being the hitman. Bro, you have no idea how crazy this guy actually is. If you want to know. Yeah, it's crazy. Shall we watch it? You want to see the trainer, my trainer, Gavin's trainer? It takes like 10 minutes. He has 16 million views on that video. It's actually crazy, all right? Indonesians, man, like you have no idea. It's 200 million people. It's like massive. It's massive. We have no idea what's happening in these countries. We think about the UK, the US, you name it. Well, man, Indonesia, India, you know, China. Man, that's insane. But yeah, let's see what we can do, man. Let's do that. Let me quickly fix this. Oh. Something like this, right? Yo. But I have no idea. It's actually quite crazy. All right, let's see. Yeah, Windows 10. Yeah, Windows 10, my G. Windows 10. What's wrong with Windows 10, my friend? What's wrong with Windows 10? Fucking love Windows 10. Right. Yeah, let's check it out. To Indonesia, I will be your tour guide. I am in Indonesia, bro. For 4 years already.
Bangun, masih belum lepas.
You guys, when we're in drawdown. I'm in drawdown. Oh, he's the worst. He's such a loser. Trainer, G's. That's my fucking coach, man. You have to understand. Okay, cool. Anyways. Yeah, man. So, yeah. Anyways, crazy stuff, right? We're talking serious shit here. Definitely no joke. When looking at... the reversal player. It's practically what you guys are doing, right? It's actually the same thing. The only difference is that this is fighting and we are trading, all right? We are a trading community, whereas they are fighters. But it's the same thing. We are in drawdown. Everyone is like, boo. We reverse down and we make a comeback. That's how we do it on stream as well. Constantly. So anyways, gold is, is like we said here, it is potentially coming down. The chance of looking at continuation is at the 2308. Not at trade per se, I'm willing to take her. All right, I'm looking only at the continuation. If you break the highs, I'm looking to take that continuation play, unless, of course, during the CPI tomorrow. I'm gonna be more on the short side for sure. Like, we're gonna find out tomorrow what's gonna happen with the CPI, but do take consideration, it's not just the CPI. Tomorrow you have the CPI first, and then you have the FOMC coming along later on. All right, so the CPI is 8:30 during our stream, and then the FOMC can come later on. So anything can happen, right? Even if price is supposed to come down, then they might pull price up during the CPI. Who knows, right? Price pushes up during the CPI. FOMC comes, we reverse down. Could also be the other way around. The only thing is with the other way around, like let's say you are coming down and you start breaking the lows here. It seems so much more reasonable to come down and continue to drive further. Okay? But that's definitely something I'm looking at as well, right? It's just if, let's say, CPI price drives price up to whatever key level, then looking for the reversal might not be a bad idea. Just because the FOMC coming along here. And you know, usually when you have two major news events, one, you know, creates that liquidity to then be taken out in the other one. And if that's the FOMC, then that might be the move to make. But, you know, what we're going to do, we're going to look at it level by level tomorrow. And if price pushes up here, so one more time, if price, let's say, starts pushing up during CPI, we start eventually rolling over, coming down. Yeah, do take consideration that from that moment onwards, you know, the chance of continuation further is just likely, right? A potential rollover for gold here, following up with this massive daily range that we have been building since the 1st of April, okay? That's when we came into the range, something like that. So that's around 3 months ago. So take consideration that what we're looking at here is an exact 3-month range, a little bit more than 3 months, that we're going to see potentially breaking out tomorrow. If that's to the downside, then yeah, sky's the limit for gold. Well, not the sky, the bottom of the ocean, I could better say, because then we might be looking back at a retest of that massive range that we have been building up beforehand for years. Okay, so this is nothing in comparison to what we're seeing here. But that retest potentially might be something that could still happen. I'm definitely not looking at potentially scenarios where it can just come down here. So yeah, do take that in consideration tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. I don't have any expectation, but again, that gap is important to mention. Potentially rolling over and then eventually moving along here. I'm not neglecting this for sure or not. The only reason why we're still looking at longs is because we're holding local support. We still have not broken the 2284 yet. We still have not closed a daily candle below it yet. A weekly candle below it yet. So from the lows here, a retracement into towards our key levels is still a potential scenario. Now, that's why we have LTA, where we look at our key levels. Because I really like to work with our key levels. The reasons why we have key levels is to look for trades from our key levels. And in this case, we have the previous weekly value area low. But we also have the previous weekly value area, the POC at 23.27. It's going to be major level if you shoot up. Okay. And that in combination, of course, with the Sunday open. All right. So yeah, what happened to the trade? Yeah, I think we came in drawdown around 5 times. Our entry was at 23.15. We closed it at 23 at the same price. And you know, we started to consolidate. The moment we entered, we started to just get into that range. And actually that's it. We had no follow through, and we are still ranging for now. Okay. If you look at it from a lower time frame angle, especially from the 1 minute, yeah, we're still looking at this initial range right now. Okay, so yeah, the shift. The question is, are we going to shift at some point? We will find out. But again, the 23.27 is still in my head. If you get there, then I think a lot of nice potential trading opportunities will come from it around that level. If we decide to tank now, right, we start to just come down and we really started to push back. Yeah, man, at 2284, you know, the major continuation process might be set in stone from there. Until then, I'll still be cautious with with shorting in this particular range, as we're still holding above our major zones. And yeah, anything can happen. If you come back down, okay, then there is one more level you should look at. It's a Sunday open around 22.94. But the daily candles are not going to look that good if that happens. All right, you're not going to be happy with the daily candle if you see price stepping into for longs from the Sunday open here. Yesterday, yes. Today, not really. Okay, where did the best trade came from? Well, the value area high, the previous daily value area high. The only reason why we didn't take it, unfortunately, was because of the bottom wick. Right, we started to break it without a bottom wick here. We tapped, we closed above the high, we tapped into that zone, and we started to break into the previous weekly value area low. So that would have been an easy trade with a bottom wick. We had it set, we had it ready, but yeah, we're trying to look for setups around the previous weekly value low. And yeah, we managed our trade, man. We managed our trade. We had, I don't know. Did we manage our trade? I think we did. Even though we came in drawdown 5 times and came back to our entry 6 times. Yeah. Okay, guys. Yeah, I'm going to leave you guys for now here. We've seen for around what? How long has it been already? Almost 4 hours, fam. Oh no, 3.5 hours. All right. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support, for sure. Tomorrow, CPI. Are we going to take a CPI trade? That's the question. I will let you know before the stream in our Discord. So join our Discord. Get into our community here, okay? Then go to the announcement section, and I will see if I will have a trade for you tomorrow before the stream. Sorry, not before the stream. Before the news. Before the news. Most likely though, it's a CPI, man. I'm always trying to risk it during these type of events. The same thing as we did with the NFP. Even though we didn't get triggered, we still managed to catch a win here. The last 2 CPIs, by the way, were massive winners. Okay? 164 pips and 101 pips. All right? Net, average. So not gross, net with taking profit. So the average. All right? So tomorrow's the CPI. It might be the 3rd one. Who knows? We're gonna find out. That's our rule for now. All right, G's. I would say prepare for tomorrow. Don't be forcing trades too much during London, in my opinion. Okay, especially if the volume is not there, and you know that the CPI and the FOMC is coming. Anything else you guys would like to know? Let me know in the chat. There's one more tool that you could look at. That's the Fed rate monitor tool. Okay, talking about the interest rate decision. 1 day and 2 hours left. There is a 98% chance, okay, that we are not, okay, that's important, that we're not going to increase interest rates. All right. So if it does increase, the dollar will shoot up and gold will drop hard. But trust me, don't just trust the outcome of the news and determine what gold is going to do, because there are so many more reasons why gold might be holding up here as well. So level by level, trade by trade, execution by execution. But the CPI is what matters. That's it for now, man. I think that's the one. All right. Tomorrow's a big day. I hope you guys are ready for it. I'm ready for it. Let's see. Thank you, G's. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the stream a lot, as always. Big day tomorrow. Ciao.
My soul got the same on the necklace, bitch.